Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, I'm not your financial advisor, and we never provide any investment advice on this channel ever. So with that being said, obviously haven't done a video in a little bit just because of what's been going on in the markets, and everything going on in the news and all that stuff affects the markets and so forth, but it does look, like things are starting to, balance out a bit, so I thought it might be a good opportunity to do another video. So again, the point, of the series is to do the videos as much as possible, but again, when it doesn't make any sense to be, looking through Dexscreener because the market is just so terrible, then there's going to be instances, where we're not going to do videos. And that could be, anything, from a day to several days. You just never know. But like I said, it does look like things are starting to balance out a little bit, better, so I figure let's go ahead and let's get a video done and see what's going on, on chain, so if you're somebody new, thanks so much, for joining us here in the series, joining the channel. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Again, the more subscribers we have, it helps to go ahead and get the message out to more people across the YouTube landscape as far as what's going on here in the series, and here on the channel. If you're somebody that's been with us, from the very beginning or somewhere along the way, thank you again for your continued support, and make sure that you are subscribed, to the channel. I do make sure that I put out some broadcast announcements, in the posts, so, and if you're subscribed, then obviously you'll see that. If you're not subscribed, then you don't get to see it. So be aware that I put information out there as needed in regards to whether videos will take place or whatever announcements may need to be made for whatever purpose. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Nothing to really go ahead and catch up, here in terms of other tokens that we've covered, so we're not going to go ahead and do any review per se, but we are going to go ahead and take a look at some other things. I'm just scouring the platform, so with that being said, we'll take a look, here. I'm going to open everything as computer just because this is one that I saw yesterday under 80K. No, I think it was under 90K, and I think this one's continued to do really well, since their launch. Let's see here, Gemma. I don't know if it was Gemma 3 or it was just it was a Gemma token. That was one that did really well, or did kind of well this morning, as well. Let me see here, Reba. This is one that launched, I think, yesterday. Take a look at this one. This one did pretty well, from launch yesterday. And then obviously, Please, this one's, been just a phenomenal token that's just taken off beyond, I think, anybody's expectations, sitting over 30 million at this point. We're not going to look at that. Let's see here. Okay, so with that being said, let me go ahead and adjust, what we got going on here on the dashboard. So we're going to go in here, get rid of price, transactions, volume makers. We're going to keep the time frames as always, get rid of liquidity, and keep market cap. And you can see that there's been the changes, there as far as the dashboard is concerned. And then we'll go into filters here. And, we're going to look at all the platforms that we typically look at, Solana based, Ethereum, and BSC. See what we got going on. Nothing to do here on the DEX side because multiple chains have been selected. And liquidity, as always, we're going to put in our standard, 1,000. And then for the market cap, we're going to start at a minimum of 50K. And we're going to go to 200K. All right, 200. And then on the pair age, we're going to go 1 hour all the way out to 60 hours. And as far as 24-hour transactions, we'll start with our minimum 10% value. All right, so with that being said, we got some tokens here. Looks like we got at least 40, sitting in here. Oh, okay, over 60. So, but we do have a lot of ones that really don't have that picture, in their thumbnail, which you guys know I tend to avoid those. However, I will say, if you're not part of the call channel, I did make it over to the call channel. So you can see here in, let's see here, my latest pin message, what I was mentioning is that, let's see here, where did I put it? Call format. Okay, so I mentioned here that I looked at a particular token. It was the Just Grok token, and so again, I typically tend to avoid those channels that don't have some kind of Telegram community. A lot of times when we see these tokens that have this question mark, when you go into it, we'll open one up real quick, you're going to see that there's no Telegram. you don't have any, links to any socials, whatsoever. So a lot of times these are typically flagged as like scams, because you'll have the red flag, where it might say it's mintable, it's freezable, and then, as I've said in all the videos really leading up, to today, they tend to be scams. Now, I've always mentioned that there are outliers, right? So, but what I am doing is I'm testing, different, sources, different scanners and whatnot, to determine, to try to basically, weed out the ones that are scams, So what I'm going to be doing on the main channel is I'm going to be testing things out to, see how things go, with some tokens that may not have a Telegram community. So if you're not yet part, of the Telegram channel, I would certainly invite you to definitely download Telegram if you don't already have it, and certainly go ahead and become a subscriber, of the Crimson's Cryptos or Crimson's Calls Telegram channel. Because again, there's going to be things that I'll be calling here that I may not touch at all, on the YouTube channel, or on X as well. So, and then I'm also doing this with pump fund tokens, where I typically don't call tokens after, before they've hit the bonding curve. I've maintained that since I think like September of last year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at some of those. So the first one that I called, not Colwetix, but let's see here, Mobula. This one wet the bed, it didn't do anything, okay? But at the end of the day, one of the things I wanted to highlight here is that if I post a, pump fund pre-bonding curve token, it is going to be in most cases because the owner has had success migrating a token in the past. And typically, when I talk about success, we're saying they've had at least a 50% success rate in getting a token to actually hit the bonding curve at 100%. So it's not going to be looking at stuff that's under that percentage. It's going to be, they have shown to have a success rate of at least 50% in terms of being able to get a token to the bonding curve. So this is also, again, why I tell you guys, make sure that you watch more of the video, because there'll be things that I tell you like this, that you're not going to catch, if you're just, skipping around from different parts of the video. Okay, so with that being said, I went ahead and moved on to call this one pump fund petition. And this is one pre-bonding curve that actually did look pretty decent to me. And they had a petition up on change.org, where people were signing it, so it looked like it really had some potential to do well. And that's everything that I focus on, as far as the call channel, or, any other channel I'm associated with. It's really about, looking at stuff that I think has potential. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but either way, that's what the central focus tends to be. Now, this one did a 3x, from the time of the call, from 42K to 125K, so there's going to be, like I said, instances, where I'm going to try to call stuff pre-bonding curve, and I'm going to try to call some tokens that may not have a Telegram community and see how things go. Because again, there are exceptions, and sometimes those do move. So just wanted to put that on your radar, for anybody that's interested in maybe, taking a look, at this particular channel and becoming a subscriber. So, all right, so what we're going to do, we're going to head on back over here. I'm going to close this up because this one definitely looked like a scam. So right now, before we get into setting the filters, up, or taking a look at what we got going on in terms of the filters since they're already set, we're going to take a look, right away at U.S. Ambassador Animal Cruelty token, or cruelty law. So this one didn't have, a Telegram channel, but did have a website, so, and looking at this one yesterday, they did pretty well, from the launch, all the way to their peak, which is, sitting up here at over 1 million, so like 1.4 million at the peak. And this one, everything is computer, and you can see just a massive buy that just came in. This one obviously did, really well. Like I said, I saw this one, under 100K yesterday, and I had no, I didn't think at all that it would touch 1 million, but we're seeing here that it's touched 2 million, today. So a massively, good one. This one, again, another example of a token that did not have a Telegram community. Even right now, it still doesn't have a Telegram community, but it's done remarkably well. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm not doing it here, as far as the YouTube audience is concerned, but if you want to try to be a part of that, the best thing you can do is to make sure you are a member, of the Telegram channel, because I will start to call some of those tokens as I find them. And keep in mind, it's really about your own tolerance, for this stuff, because I'm going to be right sometimes and I'm going to be wrong sometimes. So just keep that in mind for anybody that's interested in following, what I'm going to be testing out there on the main channel. And, again, there's going to be stuff that I'm also going to go ahead and call, on the, on the X channel, as well. All right, so give me a minute. I'll be right back. All right, so now that I've closed those out, I'm going to go ahead and start, opening up some of these here on the main screen. Now that we've got our filters here. Now, obviously, I like to go ahead and sort initially, by the 24-hour, and then we can see that we are matching that value of tokens, that are at least, have seen at least a 10% change in that 24-hour column, so just as reflected right here. So that's how we get that. But what we're going to do, we're going to go back up, and then I'm going to do my quick sort, by the 5-minute, just to go ahead and see which ones are showing the most amount of activity, in the last 5 minutes, right? So we're going to go ahead and start to open some of these up. President. Now, I believe this is one I'm almost certain originated from Pump Fun, and what I think I came to find out about the dev behind this one, is that I think every token this guy has launched has made it to the bonding curve. So I think he's almost 10 for 10. So I'm just making you guys aware that if this is for this particular one, if you want to try to follow him on Pump Fun, this guy seems to be pretty good. Whenever he launches, I'm guessing it's a guy, whenever they launch a token, that they have a very good success rate, in terms of hitting the bonding curve. So, okay, we're going to go back out here. And let's see here. What else do we have? Mellow. Let's go ahead and let's open this one up. Telexia, Pengy Abs, sure. Let's open that one up. And Cyberpunk, sure, we'll open that one up too. Let's see here. Sure, we'll open this one. Spoing Boik. I saw this one yesterday. I think I saw this one like under 50K, and so and it really was really slow going at first, and I'm really kind of surprised it continued to move. So let's see here. Tired of winning. Where was that one? We missed that one. Okay, yeah, let's open that one up. Okay, so we got a bunch of them here. Let's go ahead and let's see what we got. Okay, so this one's obviously a politically oriented token. This one, not crazy about it, but I mean, it's a higher low, so it could be, on its way up. So we'll keep that one up for now. This one, obviously, we can see pretty big buy, almost $2,500 buy that just came in on this one. So I don't think this one's, anywhere close to being done, in my personal opinion. Let's see here. We're going to take it, but here's the problem with this one. This one does not have a Telegram, so again, keeping consistent, what we're doing here on the channel. We're not going to go ahead and mess with the ones that do not have a Telegram channel. But as I've told you guys before, if you want to follow, particular tokens that I'm talking about here as we go through the series, then you can simply just go ahead and copy the name. All right, and let's make sure we're heading down here, because these are the two things that are easiest, honestly, as I refined how I talk about this, that are easiest to go ahead and match up the tokens, so just go into your search bar here and paste it in. Oops, okay, so there we go. They'll give us some tokens, and then you want to match up that MK8V. Okay, so MK8V, you can see that J9, so we know that this is the one. All right, so that's going to be the easiest way to go ahead and match up, the tokens that we're talking about, here in the video, because I don't leave the contract addresses in the description. So, all right, and so we're going to close this one out. And the reason, another reason why I tend to avoid the ones that don't have any Telegram communities is because for the purposes of the video, I want to be able to show you, what we're looking for, in terms of our scouting process and research process, so that you can see, when you go into a community, there are just certain things that help you to make a more informed assessment in terms of, whether you want to continue to follow a token or engage with it too. Okay, you can't do that, if you don't have a community. If you just simply, got a token with a banner and there are no links to engage with, I mean, it's really your best guess, right, in terms of whether it makes sense to jump into it or not, should you decide to do so. All right, so Mellow, let's see, I want to see more of the chart here. So okay, so we can see this one really was flatlined for a while, and then all of a sudden it shot up out of nowhere. And so it's in retracement, but it seems like buys are, buying up the bottom at this time. So for this one, let's keep it for now. And then this one, no community, so we're going to close this one out. This one, no community either. This one, no community. And this one, no community either. And we got a community here on, I'm not even sure how you say it, BankerBot. Okay, so that's what I'm guessing from here, BankerBot. All right, so we'll keep this one open for now. And got Spoing Boik here. This one, like I said, initially it just kind of stayed afloat in the water as far as the chart's concerned. But like I said, interestingly enough, it is moving, so. But I think for this one, what we'll do as I check out the Telegram, I'll probably pause the video just to make sure that I don't see anything that wouldn't be appropriate, for a YouTube upload, since we are talking about spring break. And then if everything's cool, then I'll go ahead and I'll take it into the community. If everything's not, then I'll just take a look. I'll pause it, and then tell you what I saw in the community. And then we'll move forward, as far as the rest of the video is concerned. Okay, so, but we're going to keep this one for now. And then tired of winning. Okay, so this one, not crazy about this one, so I actually think I'm going to leave this one alone. So we're going to go back over here, and let's see here. Was there anything else I wanted to take a look at? Let's see here. No, I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back into the filters, and we're going to change this, our market cap range from 201. I'm going to go to 500. See what we get. So Cook, we're going to open this one up. This is a new dog. I think this one did fairly well initially. I haven't taken a look at the chart, since it launched, so we're going to open this one up as well. Let's see. Oh, I'll tell you what, since we see some dupes on this one, not going to worry about that one. Let me see here. We're not doing that. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this one. Ripples, sure, let's take a look at this one. Real Stack, sure, we'll take a look at that one too. Okay, so we got a few more, so let's see what's going on here. We're going to refresh the page here, see if it'll come up for us. All right, well, we're not going to worry about it anyway because they don't have community. This one, sure, we'll keep it open for now, even though I'm not crazy about the chart. This one, all right, that looks kind of cute. All right, we're going to go to the 15-minute though. Okay, so on Real, and this one, no community. So we're going to go back out here, and we're going to adjust our filters one more time. So we're going to go back to our original 50, and we're going to go to 200, and then we're going to go a little bit further out on the hours. Okay. So let's see what we get, just so we can pick up, some more tokens. Let's see here. Bear one, let's open that one up. Solar Grok, this is one that launched a couple of days ago. I saw this one, sub 100K. So that one did pretty well, even though it's certainly come back down quite a bit. I still want to take a look at the chart. Let's see here. And then let's go back over here. And we're going to make another adjustment. Almost done, with the filters, guys. Just want to make sure that we cover both sides fairly. We're going to open this one up, and I think that's going to be it. Okay, so now that we've got those open, let's go here. We got to take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. And Bear one, this one, this one looks like it's still getting some activity, so we're going to keep this one open, and then here, no community. We're not going to worry about that one. And this one, no community here either. Okay, so this is what we got to work with. So this is what we're going to, so we're going to go ahead and start transitioning, into the channels and see what we can see. All right, so this looks like it's a CTO. All right, so is there anything going on? So we're looking for last buy. Last buy would have come in at 11:31 a.m. It's 11:34 on my clock, so just a few minutes out, so we don't see anything in regards. Okay, so I was going to talk about a raid, but all right, so the last raid they had was successfully completed. Not a big one, a small one. I'm looking for anything going on as far as any trending is concerned, just typical things that we look for. Not really seeing that, but we can check out the pin messages, see if maybe they had something at some time. So they paid for some boosts. Okay, so we're going to go back out here, see if they still have that active. All right, so this I believe is Maxine Waters. So small boost is still active, the 10, which is the cheapest one you can get, but it still gives you some additional exposure, so, and they're still getting some buys, but nothing, nothing to really write home about, right? So for this one, I think it makes sense to go ahead and set a couple of alerts, so we'll do that. You know what, really, how about we just do this? Because I think if it goes, under, under 50K, I think it's probably going to be dead in the water. So we're only going to be interested in looking at an over and up alert, right? So we're at 59K. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here and over. We're going to say 59K, and we're going to put this at, 70K. So let's see if it can start to break out of the area where it's at. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to go into their channel for Mellow. And let's see what's going on in here. Okay, so let's see here. So we see a raid, going on. So it's a small one, looking for 10 likes, 5 retweets and 3 replies. Okay, so they're making their way, in terms of completion, 60% on the likes, 60% on the retweets, and 33% on the replies. Looking for the last buy on this one. Let's see when that came in. So we're looking at 11:33, 3 minutes ago. All right, and it says they're on soul trending, so we're going to make sure they're actively on that leaderboard. So let's see here. Let's go back up here since we can see the leaderboard, and we're looking for Mellow. Mellow's here at 14, so they're on the leaderboard, so that's good to see. All right, so that trending is still active. All right, and they've got the small raid going on. Okay, now as far as pin messages, not a lot going on here. They did, I think this is good. They provided an update. Okay, the TikTok owner's on board. Okay, X account. Okay, blue check on the Twitter verification been paid for, and content production. Next plans, and they're laying that out for their community. So I think those are all good things they're doing in terms of communication. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to head on back out here. So right now they're currently in retracement, but they still are getting some buys, right? So we're sitting at 94K. I think it makes sense to go ahead and set 2 alerts on this one. So let's see on the over. Let's put this at 94K. Let's copy it. And then on the over, let's do 110. Okay, so there we go. And then on the under, let's do 75K. Okay, let's see if any of those trigger. Okay, so we're going to close that out. And then for BankerBot, this is a base token. We're going to check out the community, see what they got going on. All right, so, okay, we got a small raid going on, 10 likes, 4 retweets, 3 replies, and 2 bookmarks. Last buy came in a minute ago, so they say that they're actively trending. So let's see if they're on the leaderboard. All right, so here we go, there we go. Banker Dow, so yeah, so that's good there. I didn't join the community, so okay, so here we are. So good. Okay, so they've got the trending going on, and they've got the rating going on. Let's see what they got going on here. Okay, so maybe somebody, from a different community, showed this to their community. Okay, so paid for some boosts. All right, so, and I mean, they've got some pretty decent messages, going on here. Okay, a giveaway, as well. So, okay. Let's go back out here, and this hasn't retraced more just yet, so I think it makes sense to set 2 alerts on this one as well. So we're going to go ahead and start out at 181. That's the found market cap, so 181K. We're going to copy that, and then on the over, we're going to go to 195. All right, on the over, and then on the under, we're going to go to 165. Okay, so there we go. All right, so we'll see if any of those trigger, and then spring break. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pause it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the Telegram. If everything looks good, then I'll let you guys see what's going on. But if not, then I'll just report I'm back on fine. Okay, so this is the Telegram. It looks pretty clean to me, so just, got pictures, as far as their buy bots concerned, just people, spring breaking, right? So they said that they're actively, trending, so we're going to go ahead and check that out. So here we go. And they should be number 7. So spring actually moved to number 6, so that's good. Okay, so they're looking for some votes, as well. And let's see here. I don't think I saw a raid, so I didn't see any raiding going on. Okay, so just looking for voting. They got the boosts, as well. They want you to smash the rocket, on the Dex, Dexscreener. So we're gonna go back out here. Okay, and so yeah, and this one's continued to be like a steady mover. All right, so you can see the boost right there, and I think it makes sense to go ahead and set 2 alerts here. So we're sitting at 134. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to market cap and 134K. I'm going to copy that, and on the over, we're going to go ahead and set this at 150K. Okay, and then on the under, let's go ahead and let's set this at 110. Okay, we'll see if either of those triggers go ahead and go off. And we'll see if any of those alerts trigger. But this one doesn't really look like it's moved at all. So tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna skip this one. And this one, heavy retracement, from the last buy candle. So we're gonna check out their Telegram. Looks like we got a 50x boost, paid for on this one. Let me see here. This looks like this is the actual community. Okay, so 11:15 was the last buy on this one. So this is one where we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip this one because, again, doesn't meet my 10 minutes, time frame. So I've got 11:41 on my clock. If there wasn't a buy by at least 11:31, then I don't want to go ahead and take a look at it because it doesn't really show me there's much buying activity as far as this token is concerned when you're looking at the last buy coming in at a quarter after 11. So, so we're going to go back out. All right, and that could also be the reason why you're seeing that big, massive sell counter, because as I've mentioned before, when tokens do not see activity, guess what happens? Nobody wants to be involved in a stale chart. So when you see a stale chart, guess what you do? You go ahead and you jump out of it. So you can see that represented in the minuses here, minus 38% on the 5-minute, minus 14 on the 1 hour, minus 17 on the 6 hour. So, and obviously this big number right here is going to be really corresponding with the launch. So we're going to close this one out, and then looking at Bear One, we're going to go ahead and open up their channel. See what they got going on here. It looks like it's a CTO. Okay, so yeah, we can see CTO portal. So we're going to go ahead and go through their verification portal, which we really haven't seen much of that today. Okay, so here we go. And okay, so we can join. They got over 500 members, here in the group. Last buy came in 11:42. That was just a minute ago. Okay, so that's good to see. Looking for any sign of trending, any kind of rating going on to go ahead and help push and give the token, more exposure. We're not seeing any of that so far. Okay, so no trending, no rating. Okay, so as far as pinned messages are concerned, they got some stuff going on here. They paid for a boost, as well. Okay, sold trending is incoming, so this one was this, okay, so this is today, and this was at 2:39 a.m., so, but I haven't seen anything that indicated that they actually paid for trending. So we're going to go ahead and head back on out. And here we are. So we can see the 30x boost is still live. So we're going to set an alert on this one. We're sitting at 82K. Let's go ahead and let's set 2 alerts, so here we go, and then 82K. I'm going to copy that, and then on the over, we're going to set this at 100K. And then on the under, let's paste that in. On the under, let's go ahead and let's set it at 65K. All right, so okay, so with that being said, I think that's going to do it, for today's video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Granted, it's been a few days or several days, since we've done a video, but glad to re-engage the channel, get you guys some new content. But again, Could be any number of reasons, why I decide not to go ahead and do a video. Could be something going on in the personal life, could be something family-wise, could be, that I'm traveling, or could be, the market. So again, just keep in mind that it helps to be a subscriber, because you'll get those, broadcast announcements that may, clue you in as to whether we're going to go ahead and do a video, for that day, especially for those of you guys that are looking for that content on a daily basis. So if you know anybody that can benefit, from what is taking place here on the channel and the series, get some value out of it, then definitely share the channel and the series with them. And definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.